My wife cheated. Saying it out loud feels like spitting glass. It's one of those sentences you think belongs to someone else's life, never yours. But it was mine. My marriage. My heart. Broken in a way I never saw coming. I found out the ugliest way possible. Her unlocked phone. A trail of messages. Words I can never unsee. Last night was amazing. I can't wait for next time. 10 words. 10 years erased. When I confronted her, she didn't even flinch. No denial. No apology. Just flat words that cut deeper than the affair itself. I haven't loved you in a long time. And that was it. My world ended with a shrug. That night, I grabbed my keys and drove. Not home. Never home again. I ended up at my office, the only place that didn't suffocate me. At first, I told myself it was temporary, just a late night or two. But soon, the glow of spreadsheets and the silence of an empty inbox became my refuge. Numbers couldn't betray me. Deadlines couldn't lie. Claire noticed. My boss. Mid-40s. Sharp. The kind of woman who commanded every room she walked into. One night, long after most had left, she stopped at my desk, planning to camp here forever. Her tone teased, but her eyes didn't. I muttered something about catching up. She folded her arms, head tilted. Don't give me that. You've been here every night this week. What are you really running from? I wanted to say home doesn't feel like home anymore. Instead, I whispered, it's complicated. She didn't push. Not then. She just said, complicated has a way of killing people slowly. Don't let it kill you. Then walked off, heels echoing in the hollow office. But Claire saw me. She always saw people. A few nights later, she appeared again, this time with 2 mugs of coffee. She set one in front of me. You're not fooling anyone. Either talk or drink. I can sit here in silence too. And I broke, not in a dramatic collapse, but piece by piece. I told her about the betrayal, about the numbness I wore like armor. She listened without pity. When I finished, she sipped her coffee and said, then she's a fool. And you? She pointed her mug at me. You're not as broken as you think. For the first time in weeks, I felt seen. Not as a discarded husband, but as a man who still had worth. That night shifted everything. Claire didn't let me disappear. Sometimes it was late-night coffee. Sometimes takeout with her and Jenna, her young, bright assistant whose laughter filled the empty halls. Slowly, their presence stitched me back together. It wasn't romance. Not at first. It was survival. Proof that silence wouldn't swallow me whole. But connection has a way of pulling you forward. One night, after Jenna left, I stayed behind with Claire. The city lights glowed through her office windows, stretching shadows across her desk. We sat in quiet until she finally said, you can't keep punishing yourself for her mistakes. I stayed at my hands. I don't even know who I am without her. Claire leaned forward, eyes sharp but kind. Then it's time to find out. Her words shook me. They weren't pity. They weren't sympathy. They were a challenge. A refusal to let me vanish into the wreckage. She stood, walked around her desk, and whispered the words that still echo. Come with me instead. She wasn't offering an affair. Not then. She was offering life. A chance to step out of the shadows. So I followed. Out into the cool night air. Through quiet streets. Just walking. Just talking. And for the first time since my world collapsed, I felt like more than the man she betrayed. Weeks turned into months. My wife came crawling back eventually, crying, begging, saying she'd made a mistake. Once, I might have believed her, but I remembered Clay's words, come with me instead. Not with her, not with anyone, but with life itself. So I told my wife no. I told her I deserved better. And when the silence followed, it wasn't heavy anymore. It was peace. Claire and Jenna didn't save me. They reminded me I was worth saving. That betrayal doesn't define you. What you do afterward does. My wife cheated. That's how the story began. But the ending? That's mine. And I chose to walk forward.